Yo, what's good? So I have a beef with the PBC, and I know a lot of you have had a beef with the PBC since it started, but I gave it a shot, and I still watch it. I still enjoy it. I try to catch all the FS1 fights possible. I try to catch all the Spike TV, all the ones on Premium Network, or on basic cable, I mean, but apparently it's failing and it might go under. So I've heard, but that's not why I have a beef with it. I'm not getting on the let's hate PBC bandwagon because I've made videos praising it. I have a video called I Like the PBC, defending it when everybody else was kind of dissing the PBC for what it was. And I always understood why they dissed the PBC, but I enjoyed it. And I've made videos saying that it's failing, and apparently it is now. And it might have always been. But look at this picture right here. This is one underlying beef that I have with the PBC. Random matchup on a terrible day. Now, this fight takes place next Saturday, the 29th. What's on the boxing calendar on the 29th of April? Could it be the biggest fight literally of the year? Joshua versus Klitschko in front of 90,000 people. Could it be that? Really, Al, you're going to have a fight that no one wants to see. No one's going to see. It looks like a good matchup on paper, but really, did you guys want to see Carlos Zambrano versus Claudio Marrero on the 29th of April, the same day that Joshua's going to fight Klitschko? Shumanov was supposed to be the main event, but something happened. I think he got injured. He's not going to make it. So this got bumped up to the main event. It seems like a good featherweight matchup. You got 26-0 Zambrano and 21-1 Marrero. It looks like a good matchup on paper. I've never seen either man fight, but I wouldn't mind watching it on ESPN, on Friday Night Fights, right? Or on Tuesday Night Fights, Toe-to-Toe Tuesdays, what they're called, on FS1. Not on Saturday when I'm getting ready to watch Joshua Klitschko. Terrible planning, man. Terrible planning. It's not like you're going to ride Joshua Klitschko coattails. There's a fan that says, I just want to watch boxing to get me pumped for the Joshua Klitschko fight. No, they're going to order the undercard. You know, these UK undercards always have like 20 fights on them, like the UFC. They may be crappy, but at least they're on the undercard of a mega fight. This won't get anyone pumped, or it's not going to get anyone pumped to see Joshua versus Klitschko. I say that because during WrestleMania season, a bunch of other wrestling corporations get together in the same city where the WrestleMania is taking place and do a bunch of events that week. But the thing is, the way that works is that they do their events in the same town that WrestleMania is taking place. So WWE has a WrestleMania week where they do events all week. But there's wrestling events that whole week because these guys are riding the wrestling popularity of that week. That's when wrestling is at an all-time high. Wrestling interest is at an all-time high. But they do it in the same city. It wouldn't work if they didn't do it in the same city. Just because it's in the same week doesn't mean people are going to go watch it. So unless it's in Sheffield, England, and even if it's in England, no one's going to go watch this fight. And no one's going to watch this fight, period. I might, because PBC has always been for hardcore. But they didn't present themselves that way since the beginning. Their first main event, Thurman versus Guerrero, it was presented as a higher class of boxing. We're going to change boxing forever. We're on premium network, NBC, prime time. The first time in 40 years that it's been on prime time. We're going to change boxing. This is for the casual. They always presented themselves for the casual. This is not your typical boxing. But it's always been for the hardcore fan. Because the casual never picked up. They never really catered to the hardcores. Just the fights like Devin Alexander versus Aaron Martinez and random matchups like that. Sure, you got some good scraps, but at the end of the day, their legacy is going to be a bunch of random fights at random times. I remember, and it still pisses me off to this day, probably more than this fight on the screen. Errol Spence fought Leonard Bundu on a Sunday afternoon. Anyone of the lighter shade of brown fans know what I'm talking about. But why is the guy that you want to make the future of your company, at least a future megastar, because he has it in him, why is that guy fighting on a Sunday morning? Why is he being treated like Omar Figueroa fighting on Sunday? Why? I remember the PBC had one time, they had two different fights at the same time. So they were competing with each other. Did no one pick that up? Why would they do that? Terrible planning. Oh, man. Awful planning. Awful scheduling. Not knowing what to do. Look, just this week, and I'll probably be one of the few uploaders that watches these fights, but just this week, tomorrow you got that Berto vs. Porter card, but that's on Showtime. So just this week you got Barrio vs. Lara on Tuesday, and then April 29th, like I said, Zambrano vs. Marrero. Where's the promotion? They have PBC has awful promotion. I'm a subscriber of their emails. That's why I know when most of their fights are taking place. But even most hardcore fans aren't going to watch all their fights. I remember one week they had fights on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I think Sunday too. That's at least 5 days of boxing. Even the most hardcore fan isn't going to watch all that. Are you banking on fans to watch one fight and not the other? So you're neglecting certain fighters and certain cards? Why would you do that? That's not getting the most exposure from your fighters. Because I may be a hardcore and may watch 3 times a week. I may even watch 5 times a week. Once. Not once a week. Once a year, probably. But I'm not going to watch PBC 5 times a week. Twice or 3 times. Even 3 times a week. I'm not going to watch all this boxing. I love boxing. But I'm not going to watch it all the time. I'm not going to watch Zambrano versus Marrero if Joshua versus Klitschko's on. Now tomorrow, if Berto and Porter and Oscar Valdez versus Miraga is on at the same time, I'll stream both fights and watch them at the same time. But this fight, you're competing with Joshua versus Klitschko? Even if it's not at the same time. Why would you make it on the same day when one fight completely overshadows the other? That'd be like ROH, Ring of Honor Wrestling, having their biggest show of the year on WrestleMania. They can't compete with WrestleMania. Are you hoping nobody watches? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you trying to make your 28-0 guy uh irrelevant? Do you want him not to get exposure? That's the big problem with the PBC, and that's probably my major beef with them. They make it so hard for me to watch this fight, and then they have their cards on random channels. It's not even correlated with the days they have it on, except Toe to Toe Tuesday, which is FS1, Fox Sports 1, which has been very consistent. But besides that, they might have a card on ESPN on Wednesday night this week, and the next week is going to be on Spike TV. Or they might have it on Bounce TV, which how the hell am I going to watch that? I don't know what Bounce TV is. I don't know what stream it's on. It's like the Burns versus Indongo fight was on some network called Awe. I don't know what that is. What is that? If you're going to make it on basic cable, make it. Or if you're going to post it online for free, provide the link, PBC. Which they did and they didn't at times. I checked. I'm trying to watch the fight. You're making it hard for me to watch the fight. What about someone that isn't really interested? What about someone that isn't trying to watch your fights as bad as I am, as hard as I am? What about that guy? He's just not going to watch it. It goes on the underlining failure of this promotional company, or whatever the hell PBC is. It's not a promotional company. It's not a network. I don't even know what you'd categorize it under, and that's how Al Heyman got away with a lot of things that he did. I'm not going to get into that, but it's just not gonna. It's like they weren't thinking long term. They're not thinking long term. They just want to put out so much quantity and just expect people to watch it. Even the most hardcore fans are gonna watch this, man. And if they want to, they can't, because they don't know where, they don't know who, they don't know when to watch this. Do I hope the PBC fails? Absolutely not. But they need to get better with their promoting fighters, promoting their cards, and scheduling their freaking events. And building up their prospects is a big one too. Get it together. Because sometimes you have a period of where the PBC goes 2 months and they have like 20 fights, and then you go 2 months with no fights. Couldn't you just schedule it all within 4 months and have the 20 fights in those 4 months, 5 months each, or 5 fights each month? It is frustrating. It is frustrating because I wanted them to succeed, and I hope they don't fail, but it's their own fault if they do. So what are your thoughts? What do you think about the PBC? And why do you think they're failing? Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great day.